There is no doubt that Antarctica, located at the South Pole, is the continent where nature is least tolerant of humans. It is the coldest, most remote, most desolate, and happiest continent in the world. Despite all these difficulties, humans have actually lived here for many centuries. But the question is, how? Antarctica is so large that the entire land masses of both America and India could fit within it. Imagine that 98% of this vast continent is covered by deep snow, so deep that in some places the snow reaches a depth of 5 kilometers. Although the temperature here can drop to -60°C, it does experience warmth once or twice a year. Even during this warm period, the temperature remains at -12°C, as the temperature throughout the year is usually below freezing. Because of this, the snow does not melt. Every year, 2 additional inches of snow accumulate in Antarctica. Although this number seems small, over millions of years, these layers of snow have continuously increased by inches. Not only the snow and temperature, but also the extremely low humidity in Antarctica creates challenges. Normally, our atmosphere contains 40 to 80 water vapor, which is beneficial for human health and ecosystem. However, in Antarctica, the humidity level is only 0.3. This is why skin diseases and dehydration are very common in Antarctica. Additionally, the South Pole is situated at an elevation of 980 feet above sea level. While not deadly, this elevation increases the difficulty for most people. Anyway, Antarctica was not designed for humans or any living creatures, but humans are still present here, and the only reason is research. Just as space was not made for humans, but we still conduct research there. Similarly, scientists are sent to Antarctica for research purposes. The Amundsen Scott South Pole Station is an American base where, during the summer, 150 and in winter, only 45 scientists and staff members live. The only way to reach here is by plane. Due to necessity and the deep snow, the runways here are not made of concrete or tar, but of snow. Yes, snow is compressed with rollers to make it solid enough for planes to land. Landing in Antarctica also requires pilots to undergo special training because these runways are not ordinary but very slippery. In the case of cargo planes, the landing gear is equipped with special gear because cargo planes are very heavy, and if the landing gear had tires, they could sink into the snow during landing. The South Pole American Station was first built in 1956 out of wood, which immediately succumbed to the snow. In 1974, it was upgraded to a large igloo shape, and the entire base lived inside this igloo. However, this American experiment also failed because every winter the igloo would also go under the snow. Antarctica is at the South Pole, where for 6 months the sun never sets, and for the next 6 months, the sun never rises. Thus, during the 6 months of continuous night, the igloo could not be removed from the snow. This meant that the staff had to wait for the next 6 months, during which the igloo was dug out of the snow. This was time-consuming and required extra fuel. In 2008, America approached the problem with a new method and replaced the igloo with this building. This building is aerodynamically shaped and is elevated slightly from the snow on hydraulic pillars. This prevents snow accumulation on its top and bottom, but every 10 years, snow does accumulate underneath it, though it can be easily uplifted at that time. Antarctica is a free continent, meaning no country has sovereignty over it. There are research stations in 29 different countries here, but the question is, what kind of research takes place at the South Pole that is not possible anywhere else in the world? Most of the research here is related to space and astronomy. In fact, normally the water vapor in the air makes the sky hazy, and if we place a telescope in a tropical atmosphere, it cannot see very far. In Antarctica, due to the lack of humidity, the sky is very clear, allowing telescopes to view millions of light years into space with ease. Besides astronomy, research is also conducted on ice cores. These cores contain secrets about Earth's climate millions of years ago, the particles and gases in the air at that time, and much more. By extracting these ice cores and analyzing them, scientists determine what happened during different periods. Due to the harsh weather conditions in Antarctica, only a few researchers are sent here. Researchers only take care of the equipment and send all the data back to their respective countries. Just as there is only one way to enter, there is also only one way to exit Antarctica. There is only a 3-month period when aircraft operate. For the rest of the year, leaving here is almost impossible. In case of emergencies, doctors are available, but for severe cases, there is a panel of doctors in the US who can be consulted via video link. However, this video link often suffers due to limited internet availability, which is another major challenge in Antarctica. While the internet can be accessed in remote locations on Earth via satellites, no satellites pass over the South Pole. Thus, satellite signals are not received here. Only a few satellites have signals that reach the South Pole, and even then, only for a few minutes or hours. Using the internet here requires waiting for specific times when satellites pass close to the South Pole. For just 3 hours and 50 minutes each day, the internet is operational. During this time, scientific data is also transmitted, and researchers can connect with their families.